The Church of Uganda, Diocese of Northern Uganda, have partnered with the government to roll out massive Robusta coffee seedlings distribution campaigns across Northern Uganda to alleviate household poverty and drive economic transformation. Historically dependent on seasonal crops, the region is rapidly shifting towards commercial, climate-resilient, perennial farming by leveraging the Church's extensive local networks and vast land tracts. Diocese of Northern Uganda, Gulu and Acholi distributed over 100,000 Robusta coffee seedlings to congregates across Nwoya, Omoro, Guru and Amuru districts. The diocese established its own Diocese of Northern Uganda Coffee Cooperative Society to shield farmers from low-price middlemen.
My name is Godfrey Loom, and by the grace of God, I am the Bishop of the Diocese of Northern Uganda, where we have just been. That's where the offices are, but the diocese has this farmland, which was not being put to good use. It started during the war, when this place was like a camp. The diocese had used this place to bring on board people who could no longer stay in their own homes, and they came and stayed around this place. And so this was a wasted farm, but it was able to protect the lives of the people who could not live in the rural areas during the wartime. But after the war ended, as a diocese, we thought this is a big resource that could be used to generate income. And the first challenge we had is, what do we do with this land? At one time, this was a dairy farm where all the clergy and some of the people who are members of our church, not necessarily the Anglican Church, but even others from other denominations, would come and get Frisian cows from here, and then even the extension workers would come from here, but all these were destroyed during the war. So we had that challenge. What do we do with this land? This is a big resource. So the first thing I thought about when I became the bishop was to engage in coffee planting. And so throughout my pastoral work in the diocese, I saw the level of poverty among our people, and the same question kept coming. What do we do to change the situation that we see? Fortunately, everywhere you go, you would see large chunks of land not utilized, but the owners are poor. Then I said, okay, let's mobilize people to plant coffee. At that time, I had the background that Operation Wealth Creation was still giving out seedlings, because they used to give it. And so I thought I should mobilize the people and connect them with Operations Wealth Creation. And so I did the mobilization. People responded. They dug their own gardens. They dug the holes for the seedlings. Unfortunately, at that point, government policy had changed. Giving out of free seedlings had been changed, because I think the results were not as good as it was hoped for. And so government had changed their policy. But the people had already mobilized. The people had already dug their holes, and they needed the seedlings from a bishop who mobilized them. I became stuck. Then I started looking left and right to find what I can do. I went to Operation Wealth Creation thinking that they still had that policy of giving out free seedlings, as they used to do in the past. But then they had already changed the policy. And the reason I was told is that a lot of seedlings were given out, but there is nothing to show for it. And then I started asking myself, why did it happen this way? One of the reasons I got was that the people who were given the seedlings were not properly informed on how to plant coffee, maintain them up to when they are able to harvest. So that was lesson number one for me. If we are going to build this thing, then the people must be trained. The immediate challenge at that point was the seedlings are needed. The people have dug their fields, the people have dug the holes for the seedlings. Then I started looking for UCDA, just trying to go wherever there is anything coffee, so that I do not disturb my reputation as a bishop. Because the bishop has already mobilized the people have responded, but the bishop is now no longer able to provide the seedlings. UCDA had their own challenges. They had the technical know-how. They were able to give us the information that we critically needed at that point in time, but they were unable to even give us the seedlings. Then someone advised me that go and see General Saleh. Fortunately, at that time, he was living here in Guru. So I looked here and there and tried to secure an appointment with him, and he accepted. But before I met him personally, there was another meeting that was organized for the stakeholders in the coffee industry in northern Uganda. The Minister of Agriculture came. General Saleh himself also came in that meeting, and we were to discuss the issues surrounding coffee growing in northern Uganda. And then it was at that meeting that I told my situation to whoever was there. I said, we have mobilized the people. The people have responded. At that time, we had 1,036 farmers, acres that had already been prepared to plant seedlings, but there were no seedlings. Then I told this in public, and General Saleh was there. And then later on, I had a one-on-one with him to tell him how frustrated I am and what my fears are. As a new bishop in office, I have mobilized the people, and the people have responded. If I do not get for them seedlings, what else can I ever be able to mobilize them on? I think he saw my point. And then he connected, we shared with the Ministry of Agriculture, and then he invited me to his residence. I went with my people, and then we are now able to present to him what our plans were in the coffee value chain. What you see here is also the things that General Saleh provided us with. We went with the concept to him, and in that meeting where we had the Minister of Agriculture and the stakeholders in the coffee industry in northern Uganda, one of the things I also came to realize, because it was General Saleh who asked, that who are the seedlings operators in northern Uganda? And they were there in that meeting. And each of them would say, I am here. And he would say, how many seedlings can you supply? And you would hear, I can supply 15,000. The other one, I can supply 25,000. And nobody had capacity to supply more than 50,000. And there were no many seedlings operators there. Then my second learning came. We need to position the diocese as a seedling producing entity in northern Uganda. Not at a small scale, but at a large scale. And so when Saleh invited me to his place, I explained to him that we need to establish a seedlings production unit here at the diocesan farm. And what you see here is the mother garden. And this mother garden, we had training from Nakori, and my dear sister, Oyela came. I think she knows the technical bit of these things. And so we came up with a budget for setting up this facility, and Operation Wealth Creation through General Saleh gave us the money. And we have the mother garden here. This mother garden can produce in 1 year 400,000 seedlings, coffee seedlings. And that already positions us as a major seedling operator in northern Uganda. So with support from government, even when the support at some point will go away, we have established ourselves as people who will continue to produce coffee seedlings. But what you see here, there is a big farm this side, and there is a big farm that side. These are all sites now for coffee plantation for the diocese. Something that gives me a lot of happiness is that the people have responded in ways that I had never thought would be possible. So many people are now interested in planting coffee. But what is even better with the Operation Wealth Creation is that the seedlings that we are getting now are of a very high grade. They don't spend 3 years like we used to have in those days. These ones, the ones I planted in my own garden, they had started flowering the other day, and it's less than 1 year yet. They had started flowering, but the flowering, you see, it's not that very good, but it has started flowering, meaning that in the next season, I can count myself as a a coffee grower in northern Uganda. So far, we have received, last year alone, we received 100,000 seedlings, and we distributed it throughout the Diocese of Northern Uganda. And Diocese of Northern Uganda includes this Gulu City, Gulu District, Amoro District, Noya District, and Omoro District. So far, Omoro is ahead in comparison with the other districts. The coffee that is growing and growing very well are found in Omoro, but even in the other districts they are picking up, and we are very happy about this. And like I said, people are showing increased interest in becoming coffee farmers, and I think we are on the right track. This year we have already received 250,000, but we had requested for 333,000 to be distributed in the Diocese of Northern Uganda, and we are very, very happy. So from this mother garden, we have this greenhouse. Unfortunately, when we had constructed the greenhouse, it was modern by design. Unfortunately, as you see, the windbreaks around here is not yet developed. That's another lesson we have learned. Some wind came and blew part of the greenhouse. By now, we should have had plantlets inside the greenhouse. But now we have reduced the height of the greenhouse, but the experts tell us that this will still do what we want to do with the plantlets.
To prevent waste, church leaders and agriculture extension officers strictly audit farm readiness, such as checking the dimensions and alignment of prepared planting holes before handing over seedling.
My name's Jani Winfred Oyela. I'm an agricultural officer in charge of Gulu City and Omoro sub-region, based at the regional office in Gulu City. I work with the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, and we work very closely in collaboration with the Diocese of Northern Uganda as one of our partners. So here we are at the Diocese of Northern Uganda, and particularly this place is the diocesan farm, where we have a coffee mother garden of 1 acre comprising of 4,000 plants. And we also have a greenhouse. This greenhouse and the mother garden has been supported by the Office of the Operations Well Creation, particularly the Chief Coordinator, General Saleh, who gave support to the diocese, and that's the reason why we can have this. We do have this place, and the mother garden you see here, we got the plants from National Coffee Research Institute, who gave us the mother plants through the advice of General Saleh. So as the ministry, we have been very close to the diocese, particularly in imparting the technical advisory and training aspect to the Diocese of Northern Uganda.
The church facilitates training in climate-smart agronomy to ensure plant survival during the harsh dry seasons. Extension teams actively promote intercropping coffee with traditional food security crops like bananas and soybeans, ensuring families maintain an active food supply while waiting for the coffee trees to mature.
My name is Atero Walter. I'm a senior economist. I'm a macroeconomic advisor to governments. At the same time, I am the chairman of the Diocese of Northern Uganda Coffee Cooperative Society. The President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Museveni, has been coming out with policies to fight poverty in Acholi land. As we also know that the poverty rate here is very, very high, and he has been implementing policies to fight this poverty out. But through Operation Wealth Creation under General Salim Saleh, it has been a very practical policy of fighting poverty, and one of the things that is being implemented in the Diocese of Northern Uganda, or in Acholi, Northern Uganda, is to plant coffee, fight poverty, which is a very, very good welcome policy, which is working perfectly well. We have been implementing mindset changes. People used to say coffee cannot grow in northern Uganda, but through education, they now know that coffee can grow in northern Uganda, and which is being implemented. As you can see in the background here today, we are in St. Peter's Church in Bobi. Our members are collecting coffee seedlings, and we are giving members coffee seedlings according to the number of holes that they have dug. We have also gone through trainings, practical physical trainings in the gardens to teach them how to grow it and to make sure that this is an investment that can last for more than 65 years. So this is a much welcome policy which we are very happy and is working. Last year, of course, we also distributed coffee here, 50,000 to our farmers. The climate was a bit harsh on us, but people poured a lot of water, watering the coffee seedlings, and we have over 60% survival rate. But this time it has come very early, which is very good, and we are planting it now, and the farmers are well aware. They have all the information on fingertip, and they just get it and they know what to do. So this is very good, and it has brought members together. And now, those days in the past, people used to talk things that was not sustainable at all, but now people are talking about coffee, people are talking about manure, people are talking about education, people are talking about good health, etc. So it has come with a multitasking policies, which is very good, and it's working perfectly well. My good thank goes to His Excellency the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, General. We are very grateful that you have come out with this policy, and the implementing power is Operation Wealth Creation, which they are doing a fantastic job. There's no question about that. General Salim Saleh and your team, we are very grateful. We are very humble. Things are working out the way it is being implemented, and it's actually working even much faster, because everybody now wants to own at least minimum an acre of a coffee plantation, and it's being done perfectly well. The Education Ministry of Agriculture is involved. We are so grateful to all our partners, and yes, we expect good income from coffee, as is being projected that in about 4 or 5 years from now, coffee alone will be earning Uganda 20 trillion Uganda shillings. So we are also getting people ready that when they have money to invest, how they should keep that money. They should reinvest it properly so that it enhances economic development. At the moment, there's economic development, but we want it to go much faster than what it is at the moment. The good thinking also is from the Bishop of the Diocese of Northern Uganda, Godfrey Oromo, because if the congregation are poor, then we cannot support any activities in the church. But when you have got this good income coming from coffee, then we can multitask and do so many other things in the churches. We are not just going to be begging every time, but of course we are going to be, people are going to provide investment into the churches and make it strong, so that we can have a good, strong soul that can serve the purpose of what God has created us here on earth.
What I realized is that the contribution of the church to the people is to mobilize them around things that will make a difference in their lives. Yes, preaching the word of God is the most important, but for as long as people still are on this earth, they must also find a way of living, and living successfully on this earth. And I believe that the church has a responsibility to mobilize the people so that they know what they can do with the little they have to make a difference in their life. I am grateful to General Saleh and Operation Wealth Creation, because I was not disappointed. I am grateful. As a man of God, I could say my meeting with him was a godsend, because if it was not his intervention, there was no way I was going to provide seedlings to the farmers. Last year, when I was completely stuck, General Saleh enabled me to secure 100,000 seedlings for the farmers. And most of those ones that we planted have survived. They have survived even the hostile dry season that has gone by. And now we are building capacity to begin to produce our own seedlings. And it's just a matter of time before we can really be on our own without necessarily needing support. I remember I had also written to the president, but you know, the president is very busy. I never had time to speak with him one-on-one. But the support I got from General Saleh is okay with me. On behalf of the people who have so far benefited, I am really grateful. We are grateful for this, and we look to a continued partnership.
The coffee seedlings distributed and training has been a success and is still ongoing in northern Uganda to ensure that the farmers in the region embrace the cash crop.
OWC Inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
I worship you, my King. With all my heart, I bless your holy name. With all